You've been saying yes your whole life. Yes to keep the peace. Yes to be seen as kind, helpful, reliable. But deep down, something feels heavier with every yes that isn't true. And sometimes you can't even tell when the exhaustion began, because it didn't come all at once. It built itself quietly, through years of pleasing. So let's go straight to it. Here are 5 signs you're saying yes too often, and how it's slowly draining your soul. Each one of these will make you see yourself a little clearer. But stay with me until the end, because the last sign will make everything click. It's the moment you'll finally understand why you feel so tired all the time. 1. You feel guilty when you say no. It seems harmless, right? Someone asked for help, and even though you're already stretched thin, your first thought isn't, can I? It's, what will they think if I don't? You start bargaining with yourself. It's fine, I'll rest later. It's just this one time. But it's never just one time. It becomes a cycle that feeds on guilt and self-abandonment. That guilt is learned, not natural. Somewhere in your past, childhood, family, school, you were rewarded for being the good one, the quiet one, the helpful one, and now your nervous system associates peace with compliance. It thinks that pleasing equals safety. Psychologists call this fawning, a trauma response where you sacrifice your needs to avoid conflict or rejection. It's not kindness, it's self-protection disguised as love. And the irony is, every time you give in to guilt, you reinforce the belief that your worth depends on being useful. But real peace doesn't come from saying yes to everyone. It comes from saying yes to yourself, even when that means disappointing others. So the next time guilt whispers, you're being selfish, remember this: boundaries are not rejection, they're clarity. And clarity is love, both for you and for the people who truly value your honesty. 2. You apologize for having needs. You say sorry more than you realize. Sorry for asking. Sorry for being tired. Sorry, I just need a minute. It's like you've been trained to apologize for existing. People who can't say no often believe their worth is tied to how little space they take up. They overextend themselves, then apologize when they finally need something back. It's not humility, it's conditioning. You learned that to keep love, you mustn't inconvenience anyone. But love built on silence isn't love. It's quiet survival. Psychologically, this habit is linked to self-neglect, a defense mechanism where your brain avoids confrontation by rejecting your own needs first. You do it automatically, thinking you're avoiding discomfort. But the price is high: chronic fatigue, resentment, burnout, and a subtle sadness you can't quite name. Here's a truth to sit with. You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to justify needing space. When you stop apologizing for your needs, you begin reintroducing yourself to your own humanity. Because every sorry you replace with thank you for understanding reclaims a piece of your dignity. Your needs don't make you a burden. They make you real. And only when you honor them can others truly meet the real you. 3. You mistake kindness for obligation. There's a fine line between kindness and self-erasure, and most people cross it without realizing. You think you're being compassionate, but really you're afraid. Afraid that saying no will make you unlovable. Afraid that being assertive means being cruel. But kindness without boundaries isn't love. It's emotional labor unpaid. The truth is, people-pleasing is a subtle form of control. When you say yes out of guilt, you're trying to manage other people's emotions, to keep them happy so you won't feel anxious. It looks generous on the outside, but it's rooted in fear. You're protecting harmony at the expense of honesty. Over time, this backfires, because unspoken resentment always leaks out. You start to feel invisible, used, or underappreciated, but it's not because others are cruel. It's because you trained them to expect your yes. You taught them that you'll stay quiet, even when you're uncomfortable. Healthy kindness is honest. It says, I care about you, but I also care about me. And when you stop trying to be everyone's peacekeeper, something beautiful happens. Your peace returns to you. Remember, you are not here to make everyone comfortable. You are here to be real. If you're still here, that already says something powerful. It means you recognize yourself in these patterns. You're ready to change them. So take a second and subscribe, because in the next video, I'll show you how to set boundaries, how to say no without guilt, and how to finally feel free inside your own life. All right, let's continue, because the next 2 signs are where everything starts to make sense. 4. You attract people who take advantage of you. Let's be honest, you already know this one. Every time you overextend, you notice who gets comfortable with your sacrifice, and you tell yourself it's fine that they don't mean harm. But deep down, you feel it. The imbalance, the quiet disappointment. People-pleasers often attract emotionally entitled personalities, not because they want to, but because they broadcast compliance. It's energetic. Manipulators can sense who will say yes before they even ask. And the moment you try to set a boundary, They'll guilt you into silence. This is why saying no isn't rude. It's spiritual hygiene. Boundaries are filters, not walls. They separate those who value you from those who value your usefulness. The moment you stop being easy, you'll see who was really there for you and who was just there for what you gave. So don't fear losing people when you start saying no. You'll lose the wrong ones, and that's exactly the point. You'll start attracting people who meet you where you are, not where they can take from you. That's not selfish. That's emotional evolution. Boundaries are not the end of connection. They are the beginning of authentic ones. You don't recognize yourself anymore. This is the quietest and most painful sign. It's not loud like conflict, it's subtle. One day you wake up and realize you don't know what you like anymore. You've spent so long adjusting, mirroring, pleasing, that you forgot what peace feels like. You're exhausted, not just physically, but existentially. Your voice trembles when you try to express an opinion, because you've silenced it for years. You crave solitude, but even when you're alone, your mind replays other people's needs. It's like you're haunted by invisible expectations. This is what psychologists call self-abandonment, the gradual loss of identity that happens when your life becomes a reaction instead of a choice. But here's the miracle. You can come back. Piece by piece, no by no. Every boundary you draw is an act of remembering who you are. Start small. Say no to what drains you. Say yes only to what feels peaceful. Over time, that peace becomes your new normal, and your energy will return. Not the loud, external kind, but the quiet one that feels like home inside your chest. Because in the end, saying no to others isn't rejection. It's self-acceptance in its purest form. And that's where true love, for yourself and for others, finally begins.